Hey, what's up, everybody? Come on in. This is
TaijhTV.
welcome, 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 welcome. Let me make sure these levels are right. All right, let's get to it. Oh, they're coming for your crypto. Yes, they are. I've warned you for years. I've told you for at least the last 2 years they were going to come for this crypto. I told you this crypto, this technology, this AI, and all this shit, they all need each other, including the whole 5G thing. They all need each other. Things are about to change. Things are about to change by a lot. But crypto's very, very important in this fourth industrial revolution. If you don't believe me that they're trying to take your crypto, just watch the video.
The Securities and Exchange Commission filed separate civil lawsuits against two major exchanges, Binance and Coinbase. Caitlin Ostroff covers cryptocurrencies for the Journal and explains the latest showdown between federal regulators and the industry's biggest player.
And by the way, Binance isn't even in the U.S. Binance is not in the U.S. Binance.us is not the same as Binance. Just food for thought there.
Years.
Binance is an international crypto exchange that was founded in 2017. The Securities and Exchange Commission sued Binance, saying that it was operating an illegal securities exchange in the US. And in doing so, it sued not just Binance's US entity and its global entity, but also Changpeng Zhao, who is the founder of Binance. In its lawsuit, the SEC said that Binance was offering tokens that were actually securities, and that
So the SEC is starting to draw the line there on what is securities. They're ramping up the lawsuits. It's not just a Ripple thing. It's not just one crypto. And he kept telling you this, and he is Gary Gensler. He kept telling you this at the congressional hearings that I'm not going to just limit it to just one crypto. It's not going to be limited to one crypto when asked about the XRP lawsuit. You guys have to understand what is going on. Global regulation will be a thing. But before that, they are trying to get as many people out of crypto and not into the market as they can. It's, to me, the most obvious thing out of the bunch. Now, Binance, I could kind of see the lawsuit. It's a Chinese company, America, China, rivalry. Ooh, I get it. But Coinbase? An American company? That the SEC signed off on Coinbase being public? Just doesn't make sense. Coinbase hasn't changed anything. They have been cooperating with the SEC with the legalities of certain cryptos. They delisted XRP as soon as the SEC started suing Ripple. So what's the problem?
those were not registered as such. And because of that, Binance was basically operating a sort of black market for tokens that they were not supposed to be allowed to let users trade. The SEC also really dug into a lot of Binance's operations. Two of the firms that the SEC zeroed in on in the Binance complaint were called Merit Peak and Sigma Chain. These are two market makers that were owned and operated by Zhao, Binance's founder and CEO. And the SEC says that Sigma Chain, one of these so-called market-making firms which buys and sells cryptocurrencies, was doing that on Binance US, but trading a lot of the same funds. And so basically making it look like there was a bunch more trading than there actually was. They also say that there was the risk of funds being commingled on Binance US.
That's crazy because the United States government buys crypto all the time, and they buy them in mass amounts to sway the market. Everyone knows that. But now we're going to get after two crypto companies within the Binance ecosystem and say that this Zhao guy, or CZ, as they call him in the crypto community, CZ was the big man in charge with laundering this money and insider trading, whatever the fuck they're trying to say about Binance. It's all bullshit. They want you out the fucking market. They don't want you in if you're not even in. They don't want you in the market. It has nothing to do with CZ. It has everything to do with the crypto that they know will change the foundation of society as we know it. And CZ over there at Binance, they know, or they might not know, let me take that back, but they have those cryptos that are needed. So does Coinbase. Not on the Coinbase exchange, but the Coinbase wallet. And Gary Gensler is mad at the Coinbase wallet. I'll let the video play some more.
US through the Merit Peak entity. And so they're saying that because of those two entities, users weren't fully aware of what was happening with their funds and what was potentially happening in the background. Binance has said that it intends to defend the platform vigorously. It has vehemently denied that there was ever any risk to customer funds, that it commingled assets. Not even a day later, there was a separate lawsuit that the SEC handed down against Coinbase, the largest U.S. exchange.
The largest U.S. exchange is Coinbase. Now, the largest world exchange is Binance. There's no coincidences happening here. Literally less than a day. You heard her. They sued Binance one day. Less than a day, they sued Coinbase. Now, this is an agenda. And this is an agenda being executed.
In their lawsuit against Coinbase, the SEC is saying that it also traded assets that should have been registered as securities. And because of that, Coinbase was operating an illegal securities exchange as well. In response to the charges, Coinbase has called for there to be more specific legislation regarding cryptocurrencies in Washington, D.C., and has said that it's going to continue to engage with legislators to actually get that legislation through Congress. So for Binance, the SEC is seeking for Zhao and his companies to not be able to do business in the U.S. It seems more...
Did you catch that? Did you catch that? As soon as they get their way, and they will, they're the fucking government, as soon as the SEC gets their way and Binance can no longer do business in the United States, that means all third-party DeFi ecosystems that hold those Binance cryptos that will be a part of the fourth industrial revolution, they will no longer be available in America. That those DeFi projects, decentralized finance projects, will no longer be able to exchange the compliant American cryptos into the non-compliant cryptos for America. This is why it's important to do your own research. This is why it's important to stay on the ball here. Oh, they're picking the winners and losers. That's a fact. But as soon as Binance is out of here, the DeFi projects that exchange our cryptos into those Binance cryptos are out of here as well.
More likely that this litigation is going to drag out for a while. Unlike the Department of Justice, which can issue criminal charges, the SEC can really only do civil charges. At most, you could be looking at either a settlement or, if a judge rules in the SEC's favor, a monetary fine. Crypto has grown exponentially.
Now, I know many people are trading crypto, and that's how they're making their money and all that, and there's nothing wrong with it. But I think this thing is bigger than just something to be traded. A year ago, Joe Biden proposed a budget and new crypto tax reporting rules. You heard that lady in the last clip say that the SEC doesn't have as much power as the IRS. The IRS can arrest you. And they can hold you without no due process. This is why Al Capone was terrified of the IRS. This is why every mobster ever to live was terrified of the IRS. They were probably more terrified of the IRS than the FBI. But you see, President Joe Biden giving you the rules to report your crypto earnings. Let's take a listen.
Well, President Biden is seeking new tax reporting rules for cryptocurrencies in his budget proposal, aiming to raise about $11 billion from digital asset traders.
$11 billion from asset traders. See, this is deeper than being an asset trader. No, he's setting in the rules and regulations of reporting your income if you so happen to have those fourth industrial revolution cryptos. Oh, money's going to be made. That's a fact. Money will be made. But the way that they will tax you on that newfound wealth will be ridiculous. George Carlin said famously, there's a big club and you ain't in it. Doesn't matter how much money you have. People will get lucky. You still won't be in their club. You'll just be a lucky rich person that pays high taxes. And since you don't know how to work the tax system, all those loopholes that you'll miss out on, you'll be paying high taxes for a while until you wisen up. You see, the legacy wealth already knows those loopholes. You got to remember, there was a separation between your billionaires of old and your billionaires of new. Your JP Morgans, your Facebooks. There was a disconnect between the two because one didn't respect the other. And that's exactly what you're about to see again with this new technology that will take over the world. You're going to see both of them not respect the new up-and-coming or rich. This is the greatest transformation of wealth. I mean, I don't know what people don't see. They're creating tax plans for something that they tell you is bullshit. They tell you crypto's bullshit. They tell you not to invest. But they are drafting taxation on something that has no value. Explain that to me. You can't.
More on that, let's bring in our crypto reporter, Yahoo Finance's own Jennifer Schonberger. Jen, what can you tell us about this?
Good afternoon, Rochelle. That's right. President Biden looking to raise taxes on the ultra wealthy and corporations, but also tucked inside that budget proposal, new tax reporting requirements for crypto. The U.S. Treasury offering up 4 new tax proposals for crypto, including
4 new tax proposals. The taxation on crypto capital gains was in a bill in which they talked about taxing the wealthy, the now wealthy. Come on, guys, wake the fuck up. Do your research before it's too late. And I'm starting to think it's almost too late. I know that we haven't seen this new technology in its prime, its peak. We probably haven't even seen it at all. But once we do, there is no going back. These fucking 5 cents for this crypto is going away. There will be no more buying and owning of the crypto. The reason why I say that crypto will be passive income is because they want it all to be decentralized. They've told us that. They don't want anyone owning anything. But let's say you so happen to have it, and it's not fair if you don't receive compensation. Well, since these are non-profit companies that created these cryptos, Stellar Foundation and all that shit, well, how about you just gain the benefits of said crypto and the use of said crypto in a passive derivative fashion? I'm just throwing it out there. You don't create taxation rules if it's not worth anything. You just don't. And you don't do this.
On top of that, what they're really focused on, I saw here, I shouldn't get into all this now, but is what it's kind of surprised me. They want to make sure we don't have enough IRS agents. You know those IRS agents we had? They're going to check on the accounts for the super wealthy.
They're going to check on the accounts of the super wealthy. 87,000 new IRS agents. Remember, the SEC doesn't have that power to come down on you and your finances, but the IRS does. And if you do not report within Joe Biden's reporting rules of taxation, they're going to come and collect. They know how much wealth is about to be made. They know there's a lot of people that bought crypto. We need these 87,000 IRS agents to get Uncle Sam's portion. And I believe the capital gains tax that Joe Biden wants is a 40% capital gains tax. So you'll get paid, or you'll get hit up 40% from Uncle Sam, and then your state will want their cut. By the time this is said and done, you're going to be making 30% on your investment. Now, if you're making $1 million every fucking month, well, 300,000 doesn't sound so bad. They're coming for your crypto, and they're coming for your incoming capital gains. It's no joke. They're telling you. I'm playing you the fucking videos. They want you out of crypto. They want you gone. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. They don't want you in crypto at all.
I think when you see 87,000 IRS agents being hired, that should scare the Jesus out of you.
This goes to allowing the IRS to harass businesses across this country.
Would you like to take a stab at why we would need 87,000 IRS agents to go after just over 700 billionaires?
You heard that, right? Why do we need 87,000 new IRS agents for 800 billionaires? Because a new class of wealth will be introduced, and it's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be way more than 800. And they know this. In the process of this wealth coming in, the middle class will get decimated. There will be no middle class when this is said and fucking done. This will be the rich, and this will be the poor. Now, we all know, over time, what ends up happening, the poor foot the bill. But as at the beginning, it will be the rich, and it will be the rich that got their money through crypto. They're setting up the Hegelian dialect right now. Because once you make your money and you see 70% of it is being taxed by your state and federal governments, you're going to feel some type of way. To the point of where now you got enough money to persuade individuals of political power. And that's what's going to happen. And then the burden will be felt by the poor. They're getting you ready for the great shift. They're getting you ready. They tell you about it. So, social credit score. The Department of Homeland Security wanted to assign risk scores to American internet users. Well, don't they call this Web 3? The Fourth Industrial Revolution? Isn't that a part of it? Those poor people, once the middle class is done, those poor people will be scrutinized. The government's not fucking around with you. And nor do they give a fuck of what happens to you once the Fourth Industrial Revolution is up and running. They're already doing the social, or thinking about it, thinking about doing the social credit score for Americans. Think about it. The Department of Homeland Security. Where do these ideas come from? The same think tanks that the president is behind. Come on, open your fucking eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Former SEC attorney warns investors, get out of crypto platforms now. The whole time he's saying that, Ark, Kathy Woods over there at ARK Investments. I think that's where she works. But Kathy Woods is buying more Coinbase. They're telling you to get out while they're buying. Now, they know what's going to happen. The government's buying these cryptos. Let's not get it fucked up. How else do you think universal basic income will be paid to the masses, to the poor people, when the robots and shit take their jobs? How do you think the government's going to be able to pay you with that passive income via those cryptos? Come on, everybody. Wake the fuck up. I'm a spitting game, and I don't know who's listening. I'm letting you know what's about to happen, and I don't know who's listening. John Reed Stark, a former attorney for the Enforcement Division of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, has issued a stark warning to crypto investors in the wake of the regulator's lawsuit against Coinbase and Binance. Quote, "Get out of crypto platforms now. I can't say it any plainer." So he must be a financial advisor. But do you see how they scare you out of? They don't want you owning this.
Deregulation, a stock market that's been booming, although it's been a little iffy the last couple of weeks. Are you concerned about income inequality?
I think with the coming on of AI and other things, there is certainly a danger of income inequality.
Why?
This was 5 years ago. He warned and said income inequality will happen with the emergence of AI. I told you AI needs crypto. Put 2 and 2 together. This is going to kill the middle class. Listen to him. He's telling you. A rich man's telling you.
Artificial intelligence, why? Because it
What is the amount of jobs it's going to take away and so on?
and that's coming. You think that's going to happen?
There's no question it will. So we've got to come up with ways of, creating new jobs. But I think a basic minimum earnings for everybody, so that there's nobody that is having to sleep on the street.
So guaranteed basic income or universal basic income. You like it?
100% think that's really important.
Well, there are people in this country who call that a nanny state,
Some people will call it that, but I think that it will come about one day, and I think
Out of necessity.
Out of necessity, and I think that cities should experiment. You should have the more we can experiment with things, the better. I mean, like, with drug reform, the fact that cities just experimented by, some legalizing marijuana, some doing medical marijuana, and now we can look back and see there wasn't an explosion of people taking marijuana. There's been benefits from all the tax and so on. So
He just told you what it is. People are going to lose their jobs because of the robots, the AI, the crypto, all that good fly shit. Universal basic income is coming for the ones who was not ready. Matter of fact, just last week, the UK came out and said they're going to test universal basic income. Let's take a listen.
What if you were paid an income each month without having to lift a finger? That's a proposal for a universal basic income trial that could take place in some parts of England to find out what impact the money has on people's lives. And we're joined now by Will Strong, who's Director of Research at Autonomy, the think tank behind the scheme, and former apprentice winner Michelle Dewberry. So,
good morning to you both. Will Strong, what on earth are you talking about? £1,600 a month and you don't have to work? Why?
Yeah, so this is a really exciting pilot happening in 2 parts of the country. We had a 2-year consultation with communities there. And it's a really exciting idea that's happening all over the world. So 100 pilots in America happening right now, a pilot in Wales, there's been a pilot in Finland.
Did you catch that? Hundreds of pilots in America's happening right now. They tell you what it is. Universal basic income is coming for the ones who were not ready for the 4th Industrial Revolution. And with that being said, I thank you for tuning in to TaijhTV. I hope you have been enlightened. See you guys when I see you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.